See this fine timepiece? It's got a second hand on it, doesn't it? And this little guy, if you stare at this minute hand, it's actually, yeah, it's moving. I can see it moving, the minute hand. See that? This is your life right here. The folks over 50 said, yeah, we know, shut up. This is your life right here. It is appointed unto men once to die. Just once. Scripture promises us at least 70 years, if by reason of strength, 80, which would be 80, 70 or 80. Some even, because when man's time was shortened in the earth, God shortened it to 120. But it's really unusual for people to live that long. They could. Modern science says people should live or could live to about 120. And they're working to try to change all of that. To try to go back in and figure out now how it was. Because, after Adam and Eve fell in the garden, folks had lived 1,000 years. And after the flood of Noah, the Scripture said that God shortened our years. Well, He must have done something in the DNA of man to shorten his time. And the science is working to try to figure out how they can work it out so people can live to be 1,000 years. I don't know about that. Where are we going to live? What are we going to look like, Donna said. Because I wonder what they looked like. Were they looking good at 500? How old are you? You don't look a day over 400 to me. I'm 650. So we're in this 70 or 80 to 120. Not very often you hear about somebody living that long. If they get to be 100, that's pretty amazing. They usually get written up in the paper. So rid of. Writ's a word, isn't it? Depends on where you're from. Notice that. Since I've been talking about this, the minute hand has moved 3, almost 4 minutes. That means 3, almost 4 minutes of your life has run out. Right now. It's moving. Tick, tick, tick. You only get one of these. You only have one opportunity to be producing fruit. Now, there's no reason to fear if the fruit thus far in your life has been kind of, did you ever live a time in your life where the fruit was not really round out? You know my testimony. But the gardener came to me one day and said, hey, I need to lift you up in life so you can start bearing some fruit. So don't keep going your way because you're not abiding in me. And branches that don't bear fruit, they get lopped off and thrown in the fire. That's no good. Come on. Is there stuff in your life that needs to be lopped off? Or we just lost some more time? No. You just lost some more time. You see, people spend a lot of this time doing frivolous things in their life, or they spend their time in the flesh living unto themselves. What I want to do, where I want to go, who I want to be with, my career, my home, my possessions, my life. I found out in the Bible that I was bought with a price, so it's not my life. Yeah, but that's just good for the preacher. That doesn't belong to the person, the parishioner. Certainly does. Tick, tick. Tick, tick, tick. This doesn't mean you have to, never do anything that you want to do. That's not what I'm saying. But what are you going to do with your time? Are you comfortable enough right now with where you are and the life you've lived thus far that you're feeling real good about your glory meter, glory level to the Father? Because my meter used to go, my glory meter, that means fruit produced meter, used to go. Are you listening? Herein is my Father glorified,